Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 862,874. TikTok, next block. We're back at the park again, obviously, and this is going to be a controversial video, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I've been putting it on the scale of weighing back and forth on the election results, right? So my predictions about the election is this, to start it off, is that, excuse me if I'm a little distracted, I got to watch my grandson, is that I don't think there's going to be an election. I'm about 70% sure there's not going to be an election because of these people don't want Donald Trump in office, and they'll do anything to keep him out. They'll do anything to win, anything, and they've pretty much done it. They tried to, what him a couple times, got close to throwing him in jail, tried to bankrupt him, tried to run his name through the mud, talk about him 24/7, you name it, they've done it. So why wouldn't we not think that's going to happen? And also, if they do have an election, I think they'll try to do a 2020, what they did with Joe Biden. And again, if anybody on this video, listen to this video, thinks that Joe Biden, the most least likable president we've ever had, and before he ran for president, known as just pretty much an idiot. A lot of people thought Joe Biden's an idiot and a bumbler and all this other stuff. You think that guy got 81 million votes? Come holler at me in the comment section. But let's just play devil's advocate, and let's just say there is an election, right? Again, I'm 70% don't think there will be. I think there'll be a black swan event, but let's just say there isn't, okay? And there's an election. I'm gonna say this. I don't think I want Donald Trump to win the election. Yeah, I said it. And here's why. Because of what I mentioned before about them demonizing Donald Trump the way they did, the way they do. The number one reason I don't want Donald Trump to win, to be completely honest with you guys, is I don't want Donald Trump to die. I don't, man. I don't want them to kill him. And if he gets in, if they, they don't do the Black Swan event, they don't rig the election, and he actually gets in the office, his life is going to be in so much danger. I don't care who they got working for him. They will get in with one of those people that work with him, and let's just say they'll make it a life or death situation for that person watching him or working for him or whatever. They cannot allow this man in office for reasons I can't say on YouTube, because again, free speech ain't free. That's number one reason. Number two reason is this country will go to all-out civil war if Donald Trump wins the election. And why do I say that? See, a lot of people will think that the people on the quote-unquote right, because of the January 6th situation, they're the ones that are going to go crazy. It was an insurrection and this, that, and the third. I'm not going to get all into the webs of January 6th, but let's just say it wasn't like they portrayed it on TV, okay? Yeah, it was a bad day, of course. But again, for the left, that's what I call Groundhog Day. They just keep reliving it over and over and over again. But if you dig deep and you're a critical thinker, and again, I'm not saying it wasn't a bad day. It was, of course, but nowhere near the way they say it. And compare, again, if you had to compare what again, insurrection with no guns, anyways, letting people in and everything else, and, fake people in the crowds and stuff like that, you guys know we're on it. But what do you measure it by? What do you measure it? Is it how many people died, how much damage, the lives that people just can't get their stuff back or whatever? I mean, the left during the Summer of Love, remember that? 2020 with the Black Lives Matters riots and the Antifa stuff and the Palestinian people going crazy, the Roe v. Wade riots and stuff like that. I mean, these people are... they're very, very violent. And that's just to name the big events. These people are violent people. And again, my criticism of people on the right sometimes is that they're a little too nice, man. You know what I mean? Now, do I think if Kamala Harris steals the election or whatever, do I think there's a chance that the people on the quote unquote right or MAGA people will get mad and do something? Yeah, there is a chance of that. But what's the chances? What do I give them more of a chance of? The right doing something bad or the left doing something bad, objectively speaking? And I got to say the left. And if they both do something bad, the left will do much, much worse. Much more people will get killed. These people are insane. A lot of these people. This is why they do the Transformer stuff with them, with the, oh, I don't know if she's a man or a woman. And it's so funny that these people say they're quote unquote protecting women's rights, but at the same time they can't even tell you what a woman is. And what rights doesn't a woman have? The right to kill her baby? That's the only thing they're talking about. They don't care about that stuff. Hey, no, don't do that. No. Sorry about that, ma'am. Sorry. My grandson just picks up some dirt and just puts it on almost on the lady's feet. Anyways, he's just trying to be nice. You don't know he's doing something bad. So that's the first two reasons. I don't want Donald Trump to get killed, and I don't want a civil war, right? They say character matters, right? Who's a better person? Who's a bad person? Who's a good person? You know, and they paint Donald Trump as this bad guy. And I'm not saying he's good or bad or whatever. He's just a human being that's very, very flawed, just like everybody else. But if you constantly have someone or entities just looking at all the bad stuff, just turning on the light of all the bad stuff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and just constantly playing that stuff on a loop on the mainstream, everything you read, everything you see, everything is bad about that particular person. This is why people don't care when Donald Trump had an assassination attempt on him, because people wanted that. Can you imagine if Adolf Hitler was alive today, how many people would want to kill him? Everybody would. But that's how they paint Donald Trump. But let's look at it on the scale again, right? As far as like who's a good person, who's a bad person. Let's compare Kamala Harris to Donald Trump. Let's compare them, right? Now, I'm not talking about in their personal lives and their family lives, because this is how I weigh a person, right? You weigh all the good stuff they've done versus all the bad stuff. And are they a net positive or are they a net negative, right? That's what you do. You weigh it all out, right? We all do that. That's why, you know, we all do bad stuff. We all lie. We all, you know, cheat, steal, whatever. We've done a little bit of that in our lives. Everybody has, right? But compared to all the good stuff that you've done, all the good versus all the bad, and then weigh it out, hit the equal button, see what comes out. Well, if you look at Kamala Harris, and I'm not talking about in a family setting, I'm pretty sure she's a net positive to her family. But again, I don't know her personally, but in a public setting, again, if you only focus on all of her good stuff, Kamala Harris, and none of her bad, but then you're only focusing on Donald Trump's bad stuff and none of his good, then of course they're going to paint him out to be the bad guy, because people don't have critical thinking skills. They just don't have them. They just think that anything outside of what they're told or what to think, you're a conspiracy theorist. That's what they think. But if I had to add them up, for me personally, I would say Donald Trump is a net positive to society. You know, and I could sit there and do that. Maybe I'll make a video about that. But in my estimation, he is, because again, I've known this guy pretty much all my life. Not personal or nothing, but I definitely know a lot about him. I don't know everything behind the scenes, of course. So I'm talking about the stuff that I actually know. And I've done a lot of research on Donald Trump. And again, you can only know certain amounts of things about people, a person you don't know in person. Same thing with Kamala Harris, objectively speaking. I don't know that woman in person. But here's what I do know. I do know that Donald Trump came into politics as a billionaire, right? And his net worth has gone down since he's been in the public eye, which is, I think, the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to make more money in politics. But if you have your businesses and stuff like that. But let's look at Kamala Harris for a minute. Ask yourself, how did she get her start? How did she even get into the position that she's in today versus what Donald Trump did? Ask yourself that, right? And do your own research, by the way. Don't believe me. I'm not trying to slander anybody, but just find out how Kamala Harris got her way to the top, okay? And where she started at. And leave it in the comment section. I'm not even going to say it because I'm not trying to attack anybody personally. I'm just trying to be fair here, right? Because again, you're not going to hear this on CNN and MSDNC and the rest of the crap, okay? But you guys know what it is. And, you know, as a attorney general, you know, as a senator and stuff like that, is she a net positive to her state? You tell me. I don't think she is personally, from the things that I know about. But again, I've never lived in California, never met her in person. But the things that I've saw, looking at CNN on the good stuff and all this bad stuff on Fox News and everything else that I watch, independent media and stuff like that, and people that have actually dealt with her, to me, she's not a net positive to the state of California. Now, I think Donald Trump is definitely a net positive to New York City and the states that he's been in, that he's built his businesses in, his hotels and stuff. I think he's done plenty. Has he done bad? Sure. But I think he's done a lot more good than bad in their respective areas they come from. Now, let's look at the country overall. They've both been in the highest position. Obviously, President, Donald Trump's been president. She's been vice president. Ask yourself this: who has done more in their respective positions for America, for the country as a whole? I'm not talking about Ukraine and all these other countries. I'm talking about for America. You tell me. You know what I mean? I don't care what CNN and MSNBC tells you. What has actually been done, right? How many people have lost their lives or been saved? Their lives been saved, and how many people are struggling at home with grocery bills, and just a net positive or net negative overall. You tell me who's a better person. Add it all up. And again, I don't want to hear this. Oh, this is not her economy stuff. Well, let's put that to the side for a minute. Let's just say it's not her economy. She has nothing to do with it. Well, I'll tell you this: she backs Joe Biden for it. She was all okay with it. She was okay with the Afghanistan pullout, and her number one job, and maybe the only job she had that I knew about, was being the border czar. And let me ask you a question: how many people have died of fentanyl, and how's the fentanyl getting in here? You tell me. So again, on my scorecard, I got Donald Trump as a net positive to this country, despite what everybody says about him. And I have Kamala Harris as a vice president as a net negative to America. So overall, for me personally, for two public figures, again, I'm not talking about family or personal. I'm talking about a net positive in America and around the world too, to be honest. Who's a better, who's more positive? Because for me, if Trump was in office, in my personal opinion, I don't think there would be war in Ukraine. I don't think Hamas would attack Israel. I don't think Iran would be doing the stuff they are doing now if he was in office. I'm just saying. That's just me. Am I biased? Of course I'm biased. I'm biased as hell, okay? I'm biased as hell. I'm biased as hell, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and be like CNN and MSDNC and pretend like I'm a journalist, which I'm not a journalist. I'm just a guy on the phone talking, and I don't have my biases. Everybody does, right? But I'm telling you with those biases that of course I'm going to vote for Trump, and I'm still going to donate to him. And full disclosure, I do donate to Donald Trump a lot. I donate to him a lot. But I don't want him to win because I don't want him to die. I don't want us to go to civil war. And honestly, partly too, here's another thing. I believe that America is strong, right? I believe a lot of Republicans, not all of them, but a lot of them are strong-willed. And I think we're going to start separating ourselves from... This leaves. Ma'am, did you leave your bottle here? Oh, okay. Yep. And I believe on a federal level, of course, the president, Kamala Harris, wins. They'll be charged on the federal level. But on the state level, I believe that we're going to start separating ourselves from that stuff. And do I believe we can last another 4 years under this? Yeah, I think we can. I think they're going to do a lot of damage. Do I think a lot of people will die because of fentanyl and open borders? Yes, unfortunately, I think they will. I just, I do. I don't want people to die, but I want less people to die. Because if we go to a full-out civil war, these leftists, man, are going to go absolutely nuts. And I think they're going to reign in a lot of pain with these, let's just say, asylum seekers, because they're going to be working for the left. And they don't want Donald Trump in because they know they got to leave. And it's going to be a lot of pain. So either way, the immigrants are going to do something. Okay? They're going to do something. Either going to come in and... God bless Lake and Riley's soul. Boy. God bless Lake and Riley's soul. That will happen, but I think it'll be a lot less than the Civil War and the all-out assault of these asylum seekers. What they'll do if Trump gets in office, because again, they're not going to leave in a peaceful manner. Okay, so I've been thinking a lot about this, guys. Another reason too, man. I'm just being selfish about this, and this is a kind of a stupid reason, but I'm gonna tell you another reason why. I want the people that voted for her, that are stupid enough to vote for her and hate Donald Trump, I want them to see that fire burns. A lot of people don't understand that once you touch fire, it burns. So you know what? You want to vote for it? You want it so bad? Here you go. That is happening in Chicago right now with Brandon Johnson. They voted out Lori Lightfoot for even more progressive Brandon Johnson. Don't get me wrong. The people in Chicago that, come here, boy. Come here. The people in Chicago that didn't vote for him, I feel sorry for him. But the people that voted for him just because he's a black guy, I don't feel bad for him. I don't. You get what you vote for. So part of that stupid reason that I'm saying is, honestly, is because I want him to know that, hey, you messed up with Trump. And I love Trump and everything else, but there's another guy that I would like to have president even better than him, because if Trump becomes president and then J.D. Vance is the VP, again, I would love J.D. Vance to be president one day, but there's another guy that's head of the line for me personally, and another personal selfish reason, which I'll get into in another video. But to wrap this up, number one, I don't want Trump to die. Number two, I don't want a civil war. Number three, I don't want a bunch of people to die in this country. And number four, for my own selfish reasons, I want another guy in. And also, I want these idiot Democrats and these people with Trump derangement syndrome to know that fire burns. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, I am going to be voting for Donald Trump. I'm going to be donating to Donald Trump. I am. But at the end of the day, I can't have my own selfish things that have people die, because they're treating this man like he's, like if the devil himself came, if Satan himself came down today, these Democrats would vote for him. You ever notice those kind of people don't wear American flags and they don't love God as much as we do? Again, some of them do, but not all of them. But despite all that, I know one thing I'm going to be voting for. I know one thing I want to win, despite Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, the hardest money in the world, the most technologically sound money in the world, money that they cannot print, they can't give you in a stimulus package, they can't give you no food stamps on it, nothing. Through it, can't give you any of this stuff for free. We got the most of it in America. And I know with Kamala Harris, and that she may sell it off and try to go to a CBDC, but there is a CBDC and there is a Kamala Harris in office. There's only one thing that can defeat that, and inflation. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know what it is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.